good shape? Yep. Okay, Leanne.
Okay. You're joining us today with Atlanta attorney Cathy Alterman. Hi, thanks for coming on our show today.
Thank you for inviting me.
So how long have you been practicing law here in Atlanta?
I've been practicing for the last 8 years here in Atlanta. I graduated from Georgia State University.
Well, what kind of law do you practice?
Primarily, I practice domestic law, which includes child custody, modification of child support, divorce, and post-divorce matters. I also do a little criminal.
Okay. As far as related to the gay community, what issues do you deal with?
Mainly within the gay community, I deal with 2 issues, and that would be clients who had been married in heterosexual relationships before and were having problems either getting out of the relationship or getting solid rights to custody, visitation, and child support, and relationships that are same-sex partners who want to either get together or in certain circumstances break up without things being very difficult.
Is it legal in the state of Georgia for a gay couple to adopt a child?
Yes, and let me stop that.
I could ask again.
Okay.
Is it legal in the state of Georgia for a gay couple to adopt?
Go ahead.
Is it legal in the state of Georgia for a gay couple to adopt a child?
Let me put it this way, it is not illegal. There is no law on the books that says specifically gays can adopt. But the law in Georgia, which is OCGA 198-3, outlines what someone must have in order to adopt. Those criteria are they must be at least 25 years of age or they must be married and living with the spouse. So for gay couples, it would be they would have to be 25 years of age. They would have to have lived in the state of Georgia for at least 6 months. They must be in a position financially, mentally stable so that they could take care of a child. And those are essentially the criteria for adopting in Georgia.
And what do you think a gay couple should do? What safeguards should they do when they enter a relationship?
Well, if a couple is entering into a relationship that's going to be long-term, they want to think in terms of finances. They want to think in terms of if we ever break up, what's going to happen to the assets that we have acquired. And they also want to think in terms of if I become ill, who is going to make the decisions for me? Will it be my partner who's been with me and whom I trust, or will it be family members, perhaps from the outside, who have not always been involved in my life?
So they can come to you and you can set the whole thing up?
They can come to me or they can come to any qualified attorney and have such things as living wills set up so that they can have power of attorney so that their partner will be able to dispose of assets, sell things, pay bills, make the terrible decisions sometimes that must be made when someone goes into a coma, such as life support and whether it should be maintained.
Okay. And do you have many cases where a straight couple breaks up because one of them realizes they're gay?
Many times, and of course at that point they're not a straight couple anymore. In fact, I would say a big percentage of my practice are people who have been involved in heterosexual marriages, who have had children, and who have now decided that's not the way they want to live. And sometimes people fear leaving a relationship because they think they'll lose custody of their children, and I can assure them that the state of Georgia does not feel that way. There's very good support in this state for good parents, and it has nothing to do with sexual orientation.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell our viewers?
I would just like to tell all of our viewers that in the state of Georgia, because it's a very constitutionally oriented state, they don't have to worry about their sexual orientation spilling over into their personal lives if they seek the advice of an attorney before they make certain decisions. Now, of course, the state of Georgia still is a right-to-work state, so that sometimes there are employment situations where sexual orientation is going to impact them. But as far as divorce, child visitation, child support, child custody, coupling, protecting their assets, and protecting their relationship, the state of Georgia is a wonderful place for gay people to be right now.
Well, that's great. And if you have any problems, any domestic, parenting, partnership problems, please see Ms. Alterman. And for more information on this subject, you can see our website. We'll also have contact information for Miss Alterman at outtvatlanta.com. Should I do that again?
Let me say this. You can say, because I have not submitted you something for your website. I was thinking of, in terms of putting out little blurbs, but I was thinking you might want to say, submit any questions you might have for Ms. Alterman at our website, and then I can specifically address it.
Okay. All right. So if you have any questions for Miss Alterman, submit it to our website, and we'll see that she gets it. That was a good.
If you do that over and
Yeah.
the website.
Okay.
They can submit the question at the website, and I will answer it online. I'll submit the answer to you all, and then you can just put it on the website.
Right. I would say that you would answer as many as you can.
Okay.
I mean, if we get 1,000 questions. it's
Right.
gonna be-
Right, and some of them I'll only be able to answer generally, and I'll have to say, seek the advice of an attorney for further details.
Right, so that we're not tying up your time as well.
Okay.
Well, because I can't advise somebody without seeing them as well. I need,
Just like a doctor.
yes.
All right. If you have any questions for Miss Alterman, you can send them to our website, outtvatlanta.com, and she can answer them online. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much, Leanne. Enjoyed being here.
It's great to see you again.
Okay.
That's good? I think so.
You think so? How'd the green look?
Your green looks great.
Welcome to the Cecil B. Demented Party at Blake's. These are my friends from David Atlanta Magazine, or is it Atlanta David?
David Atlanta.
And this is Victoria
Morgan.
Morgan, and John
Valentine.
Valentine. How sweet. So you guys set this thing up.
Oh, we're here to give John Waters a big send-off with his new movie, Cecil B. Demented.
Have you seen it?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I guess I saw you there.
Yes, I thought it was truly demented.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. What'd you think?
Oh, I thought it was absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. We're actually trying to get Victoria to set her hair on fire.
Oh,
to
no
kind
way.
Okay.
I told him if I set my hair on fire, we have to set him on fire.
Oh, are you ready for that crazy?
I am trying to be. I am trying to be. Yeah.
You're doing a good job of it.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. It's going to be a great time tonight, so we're looking forward to it.
Well, thanks for having us here.
Well, it's great to have you with.
Thanks, everyone.
You're joining us at Blake's on the park. We're awaiting the arrival of John Waters. And we're having the Cecil B. Demented Party tonight. That's his new movie. It's really great. You gotta see it. Welcome to the Cecil B. Demented Party. Ugh. Welcome to the Cecil B. Demented Party at Blake's on the park. We're desperately awaiting John Waters' arrival. Welcome to Blake's. We're at the Cecil B. Demented Party.
All right, look, y'all might want to get inside right quick and get some of this opening. They're getting the opening here.
What's your name? Jason? Molasses? Oh, I might date your mama. Anytime you want me to. Give him a t-shirt. What's your name? Okay, I met you before. This question was a civilian. Name the three most recent John Waters films. Right here.
You want a koozie?
A what?
Koozie?
What's a koozie?
Drink holder?
I abstain from alcoholic beverages.
Oh, okay. I'm here with Zach, who is a major John Waters fan. Are you really excited about tonight?
I am visibly erect.
And I see you have some stuff to get signed.
See,
Is that your film?
this is indeed my film right here. But I transferred it into a 1974 Time magazine via the internet.
So is Patty Hearst. Is that representative of Cecil B. Demented?
Indubitably.
Yeah. Do you like the movie?
I have not seen it yet.
You just know all about it?
I do not know all about it because I have not seen it yet.
And how do you know to get Patty Hearst time signed?
Because she has been in his other feature films, including Cry Baby and Serial Mom.
Well, you heard it here first at Blake's on the Park.
Indubitably.
Indubitably. That was hard. I couldn't have read it.
What John Waters movie made him the most famous? What? Who said that? Pink Flamingos. It actually was Pink Flamingos. Pink Flamingos was before Harrisburg. But Pink Flamingos, remember that shit Ink was saying? I can make somebody eat shit right now. What is her name? And I'm going to walk around the room with it so I make sure that I hear the correct answer. When did Divine die and what did she die of? Gas! Girl, if you need gas, I can give it to you right now. Okay, wait a minute. Do you know the answer? You sure? You sure? Okay then. Nikki, she won the prize. She won 2 dinners for Local Luna. Great. Are you straight? You're gay?
Well, the party's over and John Waters was really great. Really, he stood me up. Can you believe it? And I love him so much. Please come next time, John Waters. For Out TV, this has been Leanne Reed at Blake's. All right, now the party's over and John Waters was really interesting. Really, he stood me up. I didn't get to see him. John Waters stood me up and I love him so much. Please come next time, John Waters. All right. The party's over here at Blake's on the Park. It's been great, lots of fun, lots of prizes, but no John Waters. He stood me up. Okay. What did I say? I don't even know. Okay. All right, the party's over. It was lots of fun. Really, John Waters stood me up. I can't remember what I said before. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the party's over now, and it was great. There's lots of prizes and great entertainment by Victoria. But now, the sad truth is hitting me in the face that John Waters is not going to be here. He stood me up, so it's pretty sad. I love that man. The greatest man alive. Because, you know, like, all right, the party was great here at Blake's. Lots of prizes, fun entertainment, Victoria sang and everything. But now the sad truth is here that John Waters did not come. He stood me up. So for Out TV Atlanta, this is a disappointed and very sad Leanne Reed. Okay, do you need a test? Okay. Hello, you're joining us at the Woodruff Art Center with Larry Jens Anderson. Whoa. Hello, you're joining us at the, do you go by Larry Jens Anderson? Hello, this is Leanne Reed at the Woodruff Art Center, and we're talking to Larry Jens Anderson as he prepares for the Atlanta School of Art. I knew that too. Hello, you're joining us at the Woodruff Art Center as we speak with Larry Jens Anderson as he prepares for the Atlanta College of Art exhibition. Or is it exhibit?
Exhibition.
Okay, good. We can get that right. Would you tell us about your work?
Yeah, these are two separate pieces done about 4 years apart, but about very similar subjects. About 4 years ago, my twin brother died, and I did this piece almost holding my hands up against the sarcophagus or the urn of not wanting to see it. Literally, I did the painting, and then I put solvent on my hands and leaned against the painting and rubbed against it at my height. So it was kind of about not wanting to see it, having it there floating in front of me. And then this last year, it was a pretty rough year. David Fraley and Michael Venezia, two of the guys in Taboo group that I was in, died 5 months apart, and they were two of my closest friends. And I'm also in the process of reevaluating a 16-year-old relationship. But this phrase, "I wish I could paint tears," was something that I said, I thought about when my brother died, and it was just one of those phrases that was around. And I had to give a talk at both Michael and David's funerals. I mean, Michael and I shared a studio for 7 years. He was one of my best friends, if not my best friend. So as a result, I was writing his eulogy for the ceremony, and cry break type, that kind of thing. And at one point I thought, I'm going to get the camera and document this image, because David died first and then Michael. And it was just a lot going on in my life. So I took that picture. My roommate said, or Hank, my lover, he said, "That's a weird thing to take a picture of." But anyway, I wanted to do a drawing from it. And I never knew if I'd exhibit it. It was one of those things that I had to get out of myself, almost like an emotional exorcism. And so I'd done the drawing, and then one day I remembered that phrase, and I wrote it across the bottom about, it works on a lot of levels. It's just, that's really hard to explain, but it came from all that. Does that help? That's sad. They're very sad, and I actually brought in this drawing and showed it to Rebecca Demling Cochran, the gallery director, and I said, "Do you want to hang this?" And she said yes, she loved it. So it was so personal, I couldn't even evaluate it. I was so close to it, I didn't know if it was good, I didn't know if it was bad.
It's good.
And it scared me, and it's also telling people an awful lot about me, and it's kind of makes you a little bit more vulnerable. So I was a little hesitant to show it, but at the same time, it's what my life has been for the last 6 months or 7 months, and well, actually 4 years now with Terry too. So I thought, well, why not? You know, I think art should reflect all aspects of the human condition, and pain and sorrow, certainly in the gay community with AIDS and so on and so forth. And getting my age, I have friends die anyway, like David. So as a result, it's just one of those things. There's art in the show that's happier for sure, but this is just a state I was in. I just wanted to get out, and actually getting it out helps. Yeah. That's one of the luxuries of being an artist. You get to, if you were willing to let yourself put that right out there, there's no denying it.
Yeah, so you have that release, that emotional.
Oh yeah, yeah, and the scariest part is showing other people. Doing it in the studio isn't quite so scary. Like there are actual tears wiped on there, you know, sometimes I would work in the studio and I'd remember things, but you know, remembering people and crying about them is actually a rather loving tribute. And the studio is such a safe haven. It's the womb. And you can go there and it's your place, and you can let things like that happen, and it's very private, and the work you're making is private anyway, so as a result I have a tendency anyway, to just not hide that stuff and just let it go. And it doesn't always show up in the work this graphically. And if anyone looked at this, I don't know what they'll think. This one's far more abstract, but this one's, you know, kind of right there.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, that's important.
Yeah, I mean, in movie and music and all those kinds of things, they make art about these kinds of things. But a lot of people in visual art arena, for some reason, think you're supposed to stick to beauty and things that are non-confrontational. But we, in theater, music, dance, everywhere, opera certainly, there's really high-strung emotions.
Right.
Death and dying is a big part of opera.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in visual arts, it's there. It's often not shown quite as much because it is difficult. But that's no reason to not do it.
Right, especially if it makes you feel good and it's beautiful. It's, you know, you can tell that it really means a lot to you.
Well, I mean, what I was talking about, this kind of passion you have about remembering somebody and crying, there's a kind of joy in that remembrance at the same time. So as a result, I don't call these joyous at all, but for me, having the ability to do that, where so many people hide their emotions, artists, again, if they let themselves, will just let things pour right out in front of them.
I think that's a huge step in mourning, like
Yeah.
getting it out
Yeah.
process.
So I see these as not so much, not just about me, but a kind of tribute to their memory too.
Yeah.
And I don't have to write that on the wall or anything because it's still, that part of it's still private. Anyone who comes to it is going to bring their own information. I can only load it.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Your stuff is great. And I saw your stuff from Uncork a Cure.
Yes.
And all that was really beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm real happy to be involved in those kinds of things. My brother died of AIDS, and Michael did as well, and I've had many friends. I've sat on boards of AIDS organizations and been active with a lot of my art about human rights issues surrounding AIDS that are a lot more confrontational than this, a lot more political. So I'm always thrilled to help out in those areas.
Well, thanks for taking time to speak with us.
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
it was really nice to meet you.
Well, thank you.
All right, bye.
Well,
Could you hear me?
we want to do this for ourselves?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Those are really
It
heavy.
was kind of scary to bring it up. I like that painting a lot. I had a sense about it.
So if I screw up, I'm just gonna do it again. So ready? Okay. Leanne Reed coming to you from the Woodruff Arts Center to welcome you to this week's edition of Out TV Atlanta. For tonight's show, expect to see Lisa Lanier, Paralympic fencer who's going to the Sydney Games in Australia. The Sydney Games in Australia. That was stupid. Leanne Reed coming to you from the Woodruff Arts Center. Welcome to this week's edition of Out TV Atlanta. On tonight's show, we'll visit with Lisa Lanier, Paralympic fencer, and then we'll go to see what's on it. Oh yeah, I know. Leanne Reed coming. Okay. Hi, this is Leanne Reed coming to you from Woodruff Arts Center. Welcome to this week's edition of Out TV Atlanta. On tonight's show, we'll visit with Paralympic fencer Lisa Lanier. And then we'll go to the Georgia Equality Project Human Rights Campaign barbecue. Okay. What else? I don't know. Huh? Oh, Cecil B. Dominic. Can I just add that on the end, or do I need to start over? I start over. Leanne Reed coming to you from the Woodruff Arts Center. Welcome to this week's show. Leanne Reed coming to you from the Woodruff Arts Center. Welcome to this week's edition of Out TV Atlanta. On tonight's show, we'll visit with Lisa Lanier, Paralympic fencer, and then we'll go to the Georgia Equality Project Human Rights Campaign annual barbecue. And then we'll go to the opening night of Cecil B. Demented, and later the party at Blake's on the Park. I hope you enjoy tonight's show. Stick around. My voice is about dead. I can do it again. Should I? Did that sound like shit? Okay. Leandry coming to you from the Woodruff Art Center to welcome you to this week's edition of Out TV Atlanta. On tonight's show, we'll join Lisa Lanier, Paralympic fencer, for her practice as she prepares for the Olympic Games in Sydney. And we'll go to the Georgia Equality Project Human Rights Campaign annual barbecue. Later, we'll visit the new premiere of Cecil B. Demented, John Waters' new film. And then we'll go to the after party at Blake's on the Park. What do you think? Sex? Yeah, so stick around. See, I usually go, to begin the show tonight, we're gonna start, okay. Is it going still? Leandry coming to you from the Woodruff Art Center to welcome you to this week's edition of Out TV Atlanta. On tonight's show, we'll visit with Lisa Lanier, Paralympic fencer, as she prepares for the Sydney, Australia Olympic Games. And then we'll go to the Georgia Equality Project Human Rights Campaign annual barbecue. Hi, this is Leandry coming to you from the Woodruff Art Center to welcome you to this week's, that's so fun, wow. Is that too loud? Okay, I'll do it now. Leandry coming to you from the Woodruff Art Center to welcome you to this week's edition of Out TV Atlanta. On tonight's show, we'll visit with Lisa Lanier, Paralympic fencer, and then we'll go to the Georgia Equality Project Human Rights Campaign annual barbecue. We'll also see John Waters' new film, Cecil B. Demented, so stick around for all the great stuff. Okay, now I gotta do an outro. I hope all of you enjoyed tonight's show. Come back next week as we go to Hold Your Peace, the play from the 14th Street Playhouse. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Please join us next week as we go to Hold Your Peace, to a play. I hope you, okay, what are we doing next week? Okay. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Be sure, I hope you enjoyed, well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Please come back next week. Okay, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Please come back next week as we join Atlanta City Council President Rob Pitts on his show, The Council Report. And we'll go to see Hold Your Peace, a play at the 14th Street Playhouse to benefit Aid Atlanta. Remember, it comes on 8:30 p.m. Thursday night on Media One. It's either 9/19 or 26. We'll see you then. Have a good night. See, that's what I don't know if they're gonna. Yeah, that's what I thought, but you know, if we don't have enough stuff, they'll throw it in.
Well, if they do, we'll just reshoot it.
We'll just reshoot that outro? Okay. Because, I mean, we don't have to mention everything.
Let's do one more outro change.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Please join us next week as we visit with Larry Jens Anderson as he prepares for the Atlanta College of Art School. Well, I don't know if they're going to use that. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Please join us next week as we visit with Rob Pitts. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Please join us next week as we go on this council report with Atlanta. I'm like, welcome to, oh yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Be sure to join us next week as we go to see the play Hold Your Peace that benefits Aid Atlanta. And we'll go on the Rob Pitts Council Report. Please be sure to join us next week as we join Atlanta City Council President Rob Pitts on his council report. And we will go to see Hold Your Peace, a play at the 14th Street Playhouse to benefit Aid Atlanta. Remember, it's on 8:30 every Thursday night on Media One channel. It's either 9, 19, or 26, depending where you live. And I guess you know what channel it is if you're watching me now. Good night.